welcome back to the Juno Communications Inside Scoop. We're having a little bit of a follow-up here with our friends over at nRide. They've got some cool news to share with us. I know you guys have had a little bit of an update since the last time we've seen each other, and we were doing some ride hailing over in, where were we, Berlin, yeah? So yeah, just wanted to quick catch up with you guys, see how you guys are getting on.
Well, since Berlin, it was fun because we were driving. We're actually using the app and driving people around. Um, it was a good way to see what was missing in the app and what could be improved from the perspective of a driver. Small things, like being able to just show up a map to navigate to wherever you need to go to, and just seeing like when a notification arrived, the time and things like that. So since then, we've been working on these small improvements um, on the app. So these are like the visible stuff, but also in the background, some pretty big refactoring to make it more robust, so to
Okay,
speak.
yeah. Yeah, just before you delve into some of the new updates or features, I gave you some of my feedback because I actually used the application to get me from the airport to the hotel, sorry, the Airbnb that I was staying in. And it was amazing. Like, I just, I know it was already like we were expecting me to turn up at the airport. I get that, right? But I just want to highlight the smoothness of it. I enjoyed, like, I got the app open, you answered me in a reply straight away. We accepted the sort of nRide escrow, and it was like you could see you on the map coming towards me. And we had a bit of a problem because I thought my own icon on the app was you, and or was the meeting point, but I was looking at myself, and I got a bit confused. So I went to the wrong bit. But the good thing was that you could see you driving on the map, so I knew where you was, and that way we. Then the text chat opened up, and you can actually go over and like sort out. Oh no, I'm here. I'm not over there, and you got to me pretty easily, man. I thought so. It's good that you get these things ironed out in a little test net phase, because then you do know how to improve it going forward, like you say.
Yeah, yeah, that is cool. And actually, one thing to note there is that it works very differently than traditional applications. So, for example, when we track each other's location, that's our phones talking to each other directly without going
All
through,
right,
something like Uber or whatever. And same for messaging. It's like it's real peer to peer. So I think that's just
that's
pretty cool.
handy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, and it's much needed, like, because yeah, people can get frustrated, and if the ride ain't turning up because they're lost. Like, some people do live in awkward streets, awkward areas. You definitely need to chat. Yes, Martin. So if you got anything like you want to share, it's up to you how you want to like tell us, or whatever way you want. You can either do a screen share, or you can just talk to us about some features. The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I mean, I think we'll do like last time, kind of a walkthrough of the app from when someone requests a ride to when it's closed. I just want to mention first that there was kind of one bigger change in this version, is that the payment system. If you remember from last version, the escrow was used only for a cancellation fee, you know,
Yeah.
and the payment of the ride itself was outside of the app. Basically, people would pay cash or whatever. But now we've changed that. It's an in-app payment, kind of lock up
Nice.
the payment for the entire thing. Um, and then, well, anyway, I'll
Okay.
show you how it works. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, some small changes. Like we've added the possibility to set up a profile for the rider and for the driver. So that just makes it easier to identify your driver. When you get at the pickup spot, so like you can say what your car is and what your registration is. Well, that's the first thing. And I just
That's
wanted to
nice.
show you. So at the moment, we both the users have 200 tokens. So just showing you now to see like how how everyone's balance gets updated as we use the app. So okay, let's say I'm from the rider perspective. I want to go anywhere, say like say Piccadilly Circus in London. So this hasn't changed from last version. It just tells you um, an estimation of how long it's going to take to get there. So I send the request. On the driver side, you receive the request. We added a little bit of information here, which was useful, like to know when actually the request arrived. It's useful for us to know, like, oh,
Yeah.
is it like a stale request or whatever, and
Yeah.
also a bit more information as to where the guy is and where he wants to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I press, as a driver, I accept that request, and now, and this hasn't changed either, I can set a price, but this is a price in nRide tokens. So let's say the driver says, okay, I'll do it for 25 tokens. Okay. The proposal makes it to the rider. So the rider now says, okay, there's this driver who's willing to do it for 25 nRide tokens. He's 2 minutes away. So I'm going to accept that. And you see, I'm in the background, we're locking 25 nRide tokens in the escrow smart contract. So right now the ride is agreed and all set up. So before I explain what happens on this screen, I just want to show like how the balances have been updated.
Of
So
course.
on the rider side, you can see my balance has gone down by 25 nRide tokens.
Yeah.
But if you look at the driver side, the driver, they haven't made it to the driver yet. What happens is that they're locked in escrow. So you can see that they're locked in escrow, deposited here, and it's only when you unlock the escrow that they will go to the driver.
Okay.
So I'll show how that. Yeah.
Just a quick one there. You mentioned we're not dealing with cash between or other alternative payments between the driver and the ride hailer. We've put 25 nRide tokens in an escrow, and is this what the payment's going to be to the driver once the drive is completed then?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's better. To be fair though, it was okay what you were doing before in terms of like, yeah, okay, we'll sort out. I'll give you £20 cash, right, for this ride, and we'll sort it out at the end of the ride. But I just think if you were to then, take that crypto element out of it by doing that, but now you've kept the crypto element in there, and it seems to be a lot easier now to pay because once the nRide token's in the escrow, it's already kind of ready to get paid as soon as it ends. You don't have to mess around. Give me your Bitcoin address and we'll send the crypto over. And it's like, you don't have time for that, man. You just want to go A to B quick. And I think you've achieved it here by doing this.
It's very seamless, and the really cool thing is that it can be switched out for any sort of token, so a stable coin or the nRide token. So it makes it a lot simpler.
Oh, really? Right, cool. So you can not only just pay, you can pay by anything then via the Cosmos SDK and wallet connects and stuff like that. You can just I'll use Noble USDC then to pay, or soon Bitcoin. Do you know what I mean? It's great.
Yeah, anything like any wrapped token on the Juno blockchain we'll be able to use through the escrow smart contract is compatible with any Juno token basically.
Brilliant.
Okay, so this is the screen when the ride is complete. There's a few changes here. So first of all, remember how we had a profile? You can see the driver's name and some information about his car. That seems trivial, but it's actually quite useful. You can have a chat with him if you want. But the interesting part is how you like say the ride is complete and pay the driver or cancel. So I'm not going to press cancel now because that's not really interesting. But from the driver's perspective, oh yeah, and we've added some other stuff on the driver's side whereby if you click here, you can open any map to see to get the what's it called, the route, basically, to get the navigation. So whichever
Awesome.
navigation app you have, maybe if you have Waze or what's it called, iOS apps, maps,
Maps, yeah.
it'll show up here, and you can open your favorite app to navigate.
Really good for a driver.
Yeah. And so now, okay, so now let's say the ride is complete. The driver took you to your destination. Press is complete, and here he needs the code to unlock the escrow. So you need to ask. So the driver asks the passenger, "Hey, what's the code?" And this is similar to how Deliveroo works or things like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got my. Yeah. Anyway, so
Is it just to prove identity, that the actual person is who he says he is, and he is the person who hailed the ride? Is that the
no, it's
purpose
not.
behind it?
It's not so much to prove identity. It's to get. Basically, you want the rider to acknowledge that the driver actually performed his job.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
otherwise he could
Okay.
get paid for nothing. So this is basically proving, oh yeah, actually the rider does agree that
Yeah.
that the thing happened. So you
Yeah.
ask the
Yeah.
rider for
Okay.
the secret code. You enter the secret code, confirm, and now I'm withdrawing the deposit from the escrow. Ride is complete. And if we look at the balances, yeah, so the driver's balance is incremented by 25 tokens, and the other guy
How
is still.
how fast was that?
Dude, yeah, and that's also thanks to Juno. They've been doing some amazing, like updates
Yeah.
to the chain, like a lot faster. Like some really cool stuff happening there.
Yeah. Well done, Reese, mate.
Yeah,
Something to like note about this update too is it switches from the escrow, obviously just covering the pickup, but this it also extends it to the drop off as
Yeah.
well, which is a very interesting concept and something that we've received feedback on. How are we covering the actual drop off? But by implementing this, it covers the
Yeah.
drop off as well.
Awesome, man. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I'll let you continue on if there's anything more, but I have got a couple of cool questions for going forward with nRide. But yeah, please crack on, man.
no, I think in terms of the app updates, that's it really. That's the new
Yeah,
flow. Yeah, so happy to
amazing,
answer any
man.
questions.
Just little slight brilliant updates there. That's excellent. You know, the app's in constant development. Listening to customer feedback, very important. And you know, you're shipping stuff because of the feedback. My question would be then, going forward, you know, I suppose the big one is, mate, and you know this yourself, like it's where do you go from, you know, getting drivers involved? I know different countries have different regulations and all sorts of things like that. I know the UK you need to have a specific like taxi license, but for example, if someone does have a taxi license, I presume that if you can drive Uber cabs, you can pick up nRide and just have the license to do that as well. That would be my guess, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it really depends on what country and the regulation. So, for example, in the UK, it wouldn't be that straightforward. As an Uber driver, you can only receive requests from a licensed operator. It's just an extra
Yeah,
step, but that's not a massive barrier either. Like we can work around that, not around it, but it can still work.
yeah,
And other countries like France, for example, it's like it's okay. Yeah, they could use it, no problem.
yeah.
And
Interesting.
any other countries.
Touching on staying on that sort of topic, then, if you, I mean, the app's pretty much, I can't see anything it needs to get this going, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of that, but what would be the next steps in trying to sort of get some market share from, like, take some share from like black cabs and Uber and whatnot, and trying to sort of get yourself more drivers and licensed operators, so to speak. That obviously you guys can't operate over 1,000 drivers on your own. Like how does it work? Like, do you become do you have to employ people who can organize? Is it just basically peer to peer? Like a driver has the application, registers as a driver. Have you got any plans or ideas going forward?
Yeah. So as of right now, we're still in the testing phase, so really gaining feedback from users of the application in order to continue to iterate on the application to make it better.
Yeah.
But to kind of touch on that, the idea of the application and the protocol, let's say, actually, is for it to be a network of different applications that are using nRide. So think about it as a bunch of different companies that are leveraging the protocol that are hailing from a common pool of drivers. And that's how to achieve market share. You can touch on that, Martin, as well, if you'd like.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the previous video, which is awesome. You don't need to just necessarily be a taxi driver. You can be delivering anything. Yeah, you've opened up the floodgates for more users, I suppose. Yes, Martin, if you've got anything.
Yeah, I mean, so another way to get market share is to, for example, if you approach small, taxi companies, like little companies that have maybe 10 drivers that they employ and whatever, that they've signed up to their thing, they can start using an nRide compatible app and get onto the nRide network, basically. And then you can see all these different companies that will pop up using nRide, and they all share the same pool of users. That's how we think we can expand the network, instead of having to ourselves do like a massive marketing effort to recruit all the drivers and handle all the operations that goes along with that. It's more like targeting little groups here,
small
and there.
Businesses, so to speak. Yeah. That's great, man. Love it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, to get there at this phase, we're also doing like small events, things like the thing like we did in Berlin, like a small, like localized tests where we get drivers and users in the same sort of place. And we think that going to conferences, like tech conferences, Web3 conferences, is a good way to test the app and get the word out there and get started.
That's awesome, man. I'm excited for that. So, what's the next conference? You got a conference coming up. You're going to be doing some ride hailing at this one coming up. Do you want to talk a bit about that quickly and plug it?
Yeah, we're going to the Web3 Summit in Lisbon, from November 13th to November 16th. So it's a really huge conference. There's also like a Web3 component part of that. So yeah, it's massive. I think there's like 70,000 people going. So hopefully that'll be a good venue to test the app, and hopefully it won't be overwhelming. But yeah. I
think you will be a bit busy. Yeah. Looking at the last time.
To add on that, Martin previously mentioned that the go-to-market is like going to local companies and talking to them. And with this, actually, we're going to approach a local taxi company in order to, similar to what we did at Awesome Wasm, offer free rides, but actually use the application and onboard a small fleet of taxi drivers.
Right. Okay. Nice one. That's a good idea as well, because then you're getting, you're doing the right thing, I think. Honestly, just keep chipping away at that. Awesome stuff, man. We'll put your details, social networks, anything updates. We will always give you guys a shout out. So thank you very much, Martin. Thank you, Dare, for coming on, catching up with us today. It's been awesome to catch up with you guys, and going in. I hope a big success in Lisbon. Please do share us some posts and updates so we can share it around the Twitter for you guys as well. And keep in touch, man. We'll catch up with you again very soon, no doubt. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thank you.